Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Reading Corner. Today, I brought you here because I would like to teach you about pictographs. A pictograph is exactly what it sounds like, pretty much. The first thing I hear is a pic or a picture. And the last thing that I hear in this word is a graph because it is a graph. The definition of a pictograph is a graph that uses pictures to show data. That's the most important part. In order to create a pictograph, you need to have data. For this specific pictograph, I have collected data on ice cream. Some of the other things that you might do are shoe sizes, different colors, maybe people's eye colors specifically, types of music that people like, favorite types of food, favorite animals, favorite desserts, maybe places people have visited, anything like that. But you need to have concrete data and you need to have asked people in order to collect it and put it on a graph. So after you have your data, you can take that and turn it into something like this. And there's always specific parts and pieces that you need to add. Those specific parts are, first off, your title. You also need to have symbols or pictures. And the last thing you need to have is a key. The key helps you read your pictograph. So in this case, every ice cream cone that you see means that there were 5 people interviewed. So that means I need to count up by 5s. My key can always go up by different amounts. Usually they go up by 1s, 2s, 5s, and 10s, but it depends on the numbers or the data that you have collected. Now that you have your pictograph in front of you, the first thing you need to be able to do is learn how to read it. In order to learn how to read it, you're going to answer questions that I give you. Some of the questions are things like these. The first one is, what is the title of the pictograph? Easy peasy, you can nail that. You find the title, you write it down. Favorite ice cream is the title. Next, what's the key? I find the key, I rewrite it on the line. Ice cream cone represents 5 cones. What flavor do people like most? Now, all that you need to do for this is figure out what row has the most ice cream cone. Well, if I look at chocolate, he's got a lot of ice cream, so I'm just going to write chocolate. Same thing happens for what flavor do people like the least, except I'm going to look for what row has the least amount of ice cream, and poor little Peach down in the corner only has 1. So I'm going to write Peach. Now, it's asking me specific numbers. So how many people like vanilla ice cream? I'm going to find vanilla right at the top, and then I'm going to start counting. We do not count up by 1s. It's not 1, 2, 3 ice cream cones, so 3 people. Nope, good try. You need to make sure that you are counting up by 5s because my key down at the bottom says that it represents 5 people. So I'm going to count 5, 10, 15, and the answer is 15. We're going to try again with strawberry. So I find strawberry. I'm counting up by 5 still. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. All right, 25. Okay, now it gets real tricky, and I didn't put stars on it because that would have taken me all day, and we would have been here for a while. So it is wondering how many people took part in this survey. So all it's asking us is how many ice cream cones are there altogether. We're counting up by 5s. See if you can put your finger on your screen and count up with me. We're going to go starting on vanilla. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. So altogether, 100 people took this survey, which is a lot. Now we are going to figure out when our pictures get taken and snapped in half, what that means. So right here, I have a whole apple. It says, what does the apple represent? Well, if I look down at my key, I see that it represents 10 apples. Then I took my apple and I said, we're going to take this and we're going to split it in half. What would that now mean? All that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 10, it's no longer 10, and I'm going to split it in half. Or another way to say that is divide by 2. If I take 10 and I divide it by 2, it equals 5. So that means my half an apple doesn't mean 10, It actually means or represents 5. Now, I'm going to count how many apples were sold in March. So I find what March is, and all I'm going to do is count up first by 10. So I have 10, 20, and because my apple is half, I'm only going to add 5. So my answer is 25. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, let me know and I can help you out further. We're going to amp it up a notch. And now that you know how to read a pictograph, we're going to turn that into being able to draw a pictograph. So the first thing you need to do is collect data. When you're collecting data, first you need to pick a topic that you're working with. Then you need to go around and you need to ask people how they feel about that specific topic. So if I'm picking eye colors, I might have blue, brown, and green eyes. I'm going to phone the people I know and say, "Hi, Grandma, what color are your eyes? Hi, Mom, what color eyes do you have? Oh, little brother, what color are your eyes?" You're going to collect your data from the people in your life. If you're doing shoe sizes, figure out what size feet people have. If you're doing music, figure out the type of music do they like. Do they like pop music? Do they like country music? Do they like hip hop music? Favorite type of food? Do they like burgers, pizza, pasta? Favorite type of desserts? Do they like cupcakes, cakes, ice cream? Favorite type of animals? Cats, dogs, turtles, and starfish. Okay? You need to be specific and have your topic. Then you're going to create a handy dandy little chart. In your chart, you first, on the one side, you have what you're talking about. So I chose types of pasta because I'm very passionate about pasta and I want to know if other people like it too. And then on the other side, that's where you're going to collect your data. So it's always going to be number of people. That side does not change. Then underneath my types of pasta, you don't want to leave it very open-ended because then it's going to be wild. If I'm talking about animals, all of a sudden people are going to start naming cheetahs, jellyfish, cats, dogs, turtles, horses, cows. It's going to be way too crazy. You want to limit it down and be specific with about 4 or 5 different things that they can choose from. The things I chose are spaghetti, fettuccine, penne, and macaroni. And then I went and I asked some people. I said, "Grandma, what kind of pasta do you like? Do you like spaghetti, fettuccine, penne, or macaroni?" She told me she liked fettuccine, which I think is a good choice. I'm going to continue doing that until I collect all my data. The easiest way to do this is to put little tick marks. So every time someone says they like spaghetti, I put a little tick. And when I get to 5, I cross that out, continue on until in the end, you have your specific numbers that you're working with. So I have 8 people that like spaghetti, 12 people that like fettuccine, 7 people that like penne, and 2 people that like macaroni. Once I have that, I can take it and I can amp it up and actually draw out my pictograph. The very first thing you need to do is to label it, okay? When I'm labeling it, I need to think of a title. Your title is just what your graph is about. Mine is about people's favorite pasta. Yeah. And then I'm going to look at this spot right here, types of pasta. I take that and I put it on the side. Once I do that, I am going to take the different types of pasta and I'm going to write them down into this one column. You need to make sure they're nice and beautifully and evenly spread. I don't want all you people having all your pasta at the top and a big white space on the bottom. If you do that, this would be the time that I would come and erase it all. So please make sure it's nice and evenly distributed with the space that you have on your paper. And then once you do that, you need to create your key. This is the most challenging part of a pictograph. The first thing you need to do when you're creating your key is pick a symbol or a picture. Please make sure it relates. So mine is about pasta. I'm not going to draw a truck because I like trucks. I'm not going to draw a cloud because it's nice outside. You need to make sure that you are picking something that relates to the topic that you're talking about. So I chose a macaroni noodle, and I think it fits perfectly. Then you need to figure out what your key is going to go up by. This is perfect. I'm not going to pick 10 because that's wild. You are going to look at the data you have. So the numbers I have are 8, 12, 7, and 2. I want to pick a number that these numbers can fit into. So if I was to choose 5, 10, 15, 20, I don't see anything that relates to that. 10, 10, 20, 30, nothing relates to that either. Ones, I could do one, but then I'd be drawing 12 macaroni noodles, and that's quite a few. Or I could do by twos. If I did 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, they all fit in there. So I chose to take mine and go 2 people. It always is people because it says on my chart number of people. So my macaroni noodle means 2 people, or represents 2 people, or equals 2 people. There's only one number that doesn't fit in there, but I'll show you what to do with that guy. The very next thing you do is fill in your data. I'm going to look first at spaghetti. Spaghetti has 8 people. Then I'm going to take my macaroni noodles and I'm going to count up by 2s until I get to 8. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, which means I need to draw 4 macaroni noodles. Boom. I'm an artiste. Next, we're going to go on to fettuccine. Fettuccine, we're going all the way up to 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, which means I need to draw 6 noodles. Penne. This little guy is where it gets tricky because I have 7. We're going to go up 2, 4, 6, 8. Too much. It's too much. I need to go down 1. So all I'm going to do is take my macaroni noodle. I'm going to say, hiya, split them in half. So I have a total of 7. Then after I do that, I'm going to move on to my macaroni. Poor little macaroni, only 2 people like him. So I'm going to draw 1 macaroni noodle. And that's it. I nailed it. Now that it's all filled in, the most important thing you need to do is check over your work to make sure that your chart is accurate, it's correct, and the data is displayed correctly. Make sure that everything is lined up. If you were in my classroom right now, I would probably be coming around with a ruler to make sure it's neat and organized and everything is all lined up. So straight across, up and down, please make sure it's nice and neat and organized. Another thing that I love is when you're done, your pictures are drawn beautifully and as close to similar and the same as you possibly can. You can go through and color it and make it unique and personalized. That would be awesome. And then you did it. You're done. When everything is nice, neat, lined up, labeled, and looks something similar to this, you have created a beautiful pictograph, and know that I would be very, very proud of you. So this is what we're going to do. I've emailed your parents a practice booklet. You can look at that booklet, go ahead and go over some of the questions. If you don't have a chance to print it, just look at it on one of your devices and fill in some of the questions on a piece of paper. Number 2, I have assigned you some athletics activities. Please log on to that and check out what is on there. And number 3, what I want you to do this week is to go ahead and think of a topic for your very own pictograph. So maybe you're going to do, I'll review some, maybe you're going to do eye colors. You're going to choose 4 eye colors: blue, brown, green, and hazel. You'll ask people what their eye colors are. Maybe you're going to do music. You're going to pick hip hop, country, rap, and classical music. You're going to ask people what music they like. You're going to pick desserts. You're going to pick cupcakes, ice cream, cakes, and milkshakes. You're going to ask people what one they like best. You're going to pick food. You're going to pick pizza, pasta, burgers, and I don't know, tacos. And you're going to ask people what kind of food they like. You're going to pick a topic. You're going to actually go and ask people. See if you can find at least 10 people to take part in your survey. I know we aren't seeing that many people now, so you might ask the people in your house, you might phone your grandparents, you might phone your friends, anyone you can get a hold of, and collect your data. Once you have that, just get a normal piece of paper, draw your very own pictograph as neatly and as beautifully and as accurate as you can. Take a picture of that and send it to me on Seesaw so I can see what you're doing. And then next week, after you've had some time to practice, I will send you an activity that you could try on there. And the last thing is just be awesome and be yourself. That is all I have for you lovely people today. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I miss and love you like crazy and hope I get to see you all very soon. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you later, team.